Hi everybody, hope everyone's doing great on this Monday, gorgeous Monday day. Cooking with Melissa, how was it? We survived another week. We're out there, hopefully everyone's healthy. You're nourishing your bodies, your minds, all the above. So tonight I wanted to create a recipe that utilizes some staple ingredients and utilizes as little work as possible. That's what we've been doing throughout the whole few weeks that we've been doing our cooking classes. So pesto. Pesto is something that is fantastic and is honestly just a simple word for a sauce of some sort. So the sauce that we're going to be creating tonight is a pea pesto with mint and a little bit of wild oregano. Of course, you can leave out the oregano, but the pea and the mint go really good hand in hand, and you're going to create a delicious meal that is colorful, seasonal for these gorgeous outdoor patios or indoors. And not only that, full of protein. Peas actually do have a good amount of protein in there. And again, with that mint, it's going to be vivacious and vibrant. And it's going to be different from your typical basil that we use. Again, you can always use basil if you'd like. So let's get started. Super simple. First thing that we're going to do is we are going to toast our nuts. Now I'm using almonds today. I'm using whole almonds. And not only that, I'm going to use one of my favorite equipment tools. I'm going to use my mixer. If you'd like, you can use a standard blender by all means, or you can even use a mortar and pestle. If you use a mortar and pestle, please use a smaller nut. I'm using whole almonds today, but use sliced almonds, or if not, even sunflower seeds or cashews. It just depends. Now, again, this recipe is high in protein because of the nuts. You're going to create a vegan sauce. And last but not least, it is something that is inexpensive, quick and effective for your kiddos. And last but not least, little work is required other than your peas, which I hope we've all stored a few frozen vegetables in your stock pantry. So let's get started. I'm going to turn on my oven at the same time that I'm going to be turning, my skillet, not my oven, my skillet for my almonds and my skillet for my sauteing garlic and onion. This dish is really quick, one-stop shop. Now, tonight, we are going to use banza pasta. Banza is one of my favorite pastas because it is also a bean pasta, chickpea pasta, legume. So those that are sensitive to legumes, maybe this might be the one for you, but it is gluten-free and it also has a little bit more protein than other forms of pasta. So banza pasta, I actually got our fitness instructor Dana hooked on them, and they are fantastic because they are sold in bulk, Costco, or you can even find it in a regular grocery store. I don't have any small nuts. Well, do you have any form of larger nuts that you can chop and then just saute or cook? So we're going to turn on our nuts. Now, cooking your nuts is something that's really important that you must always keep your eye on. Specific Italian recipes are like, keep your eye on it, keep your eye on it. Always keep your eye on cooking your nuts. The reason why so is nuts have natural, my apologies, my mother is doing physical therapy in the other room, so maybe that's why you heard something. Poor woman is getting worked on tonight. Everybody is working today. So cooking nuts is so important that you always keep an eye on because they can immediately go from golden brown to burnt. And the reason why so is there are natural oils in that nut. Scorching your nuts, you're going to create a bitter taste. Not only that, you're going to create a burnt taste, and you don't want that. Sadly, you will have to toss your nuts and start all over. Literally, between the time of 20 seconds, you can go from, again, nice to burnt. So I'm going to cook these on about a low burner, maximum 2 minutes. In that time, my skillet is already going. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, I love my bar spout because I count to 4. That's about 1 tablespoon. Another 4, 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to bartend back in college. And as much as I don't want to ever go back to those nights, it did teach me a few things when it comes to the kitchen. So in that sense, we're just going to toss our almonds just a little bit. Again, that's probably going to take about 2 minutes. From here, I'm going to saute a little bit of garlic and a little bit of shallots. About a full shallot. You don't have to worry about dicing anything pretty here. Rough chop because you're going to pop everything into your blender or your cooking processor.
3 seconds.
So,
1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
now, one of the things that I didn't tell you is the recipes that I actually make on Mondays, we don't eat them that night. We actually eat them the next day for lunch. I get excited for that. And another thing to think about these recipes is that they hold really well. If you wanted to make the pesto tonight, by all means, you can eat it tomorrow. Toss it in with either some chicken salad, toss it in with the pasta, toss it in with a grain such as brown rice, quinoa. You can do many things with it, or you can even top such as a seared fish or chicken breast with it. So, peas. I have about 1.5 cups of frozen peas, and I have mints. This is fresh picked mint from my garden. Now, again, you can use basil. You can use mint, or you can even use parsley. But if you use a mixture of parsley, please use another herb in between. Now, I have been growing this mint wildly for the past 3 years, and I can't get rid of it as much as I try. Whenever you're picking your fresh herb, just take away the stems, only because the stem is just a little bit too thick. Now, this is Greek oregano. I planted this about 2 years ago as well, and now it just flourishes wild. You don't have to use oregano if you don't want to. But again, we're just highlighting different herbs to create a different nuance and a different flavor to your pesto. I'm gonna toss my nuts. Garlic and olive oil is going. What we're gonna do is first move that bowl out of the way. We're gonna salt just a little bit that garlic.
So it's a little bit longer of a process, but it's more long-lasting.
That was about a teaspoon of salt. Moving that around. Now, you're also going to need a little bit of chicken stock. If you'd like to keep this vegan, you can omit the chicken stock, just add vegetable stock, or even just add water. I'm going to continue picking my mint here just because I want you to know that this recipe is all going a la minute. I'm not doing too much prep beforehand, and again, it's really, really simple. So tomorrow, this is going to be our lunch, and we're going to hopefully enjoy it on the patio. And of course, everybody keeping their distance. The people that have been in quarantine with me do get to enjoy it together. I hope everyone is doing their part out there and everyone is still staying safe. If there's any kind of recommendations you guys would like for any kind of recipes, please give me some details, because I want to make sure I answer all of y'all's questions if you've ever been curious about making this or curious about making that. Now, when it comes to a food processor, it is an incredible tool because they are really reliable, really durable, and you can do many things with it. I grate potatoes, I grate carrots, I make pasta dough, I make sauces, and not only that, I make soups. You can shake the living life out of it whenever you're cooking, and I'm just going to show you how, whenever you're cooking an item, shaking it up, again, really durable. These will last you from years and years to come. This is from when I got married, which is tomorrow, my wedding anniversary, 9 years ago. So, mint, nothing special. Again, we just got rid of the thick herbs. Again, you don't have to do too much because this is all going to go into making a sauce. Bing, bang, boom. Next time, teach us how to make a roux. I can do that, but that's different. Who's going to be eating a roux and something dense on this gorgeous, what feels like summer already day? Now, our nuts, barely toasting. I don't know if you can see that. They're still somewhat brown. I'm going to give them about another minute or two. Our garlic, not burnt yet. Now, this is the time that if you want to add different herbs to that, such as if you wanted to add crushed chili flakes, if you wanted to add any kind of spices, please do. Now, with spices, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can definitely just create your own flavor profile. I'm just giving you the basics as to the sauce. Please do many, many things. Last but not least, we have the juice of 1 full lemon. Now, I'm a firm believer that nothing goes to waste. When you are using a lemon, always get a grater and use the zest of that lemon. You never want to go all the way to the white bit. You want to be very gentle, but I don't know if you can see this. We have all the zest in there. And the zest, again, is going to pack a wonderful punch that just brings that nuance together of the pea and the pesto and the mint. So, done. All I'm going to do, add these frozen peas to that garlic. That's literally just been cooking for a few minutes. Rinse that out. Chefs out there, always clean as you go. I can't stress enough. It'll make life super, super simple. Now, these nuts barely have some brown to them. I would have to say I'm going to just give them another minute. As you can see, they're still somewhat beige. Now, when you're cooking your nuts, medium, low medium. If you have that high, again, you will turn into a mush from like 0 to 60. That is one of the biggest things. If anybody likes those cooking shows, I burnt my nuts, they have to start over. So, we are going to add a little bit of liquid to those peas, about 1/4 of a cup.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do, you said 2 o'clock? Yeah. Down for sleep?
For that, yes.
Okay, let's go at 2 o'clock. I'm going to put it down for
Okay.
Okay.
Nuts. Boom. Just like that. We're going to pop these in a food processor. So assembling your food processor, you typically have an S blade. This is your universal blade, so to speak. You also have other attachments that can create that grate. So put that in. Bam.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to give it a rough chop.
Melissa, some things that are going on, just keep her in the loop.
And we are missing one of my attachments, and that typically happens.
You want to go over that stretch one more time, just so you know.
Okay, pop that on.
Yes.
Off. Check my peas.
Yep. Yep.
That smells delicious already. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add all these fresh herbs into the food processor.
Does that feel easier now?
There was a few little nubs in there that got away. I would have to say that this is about a cup and a half of fresh packed herbs.
It's like everything, I just need to get it going.
Yes, no, that's right. And this, it might start to become more intense in your neck. Like,
Yay! Other people, next time, me.
so just keep doing the
Now.
process.
Bing, bang, boom.
Stretch
If you wanted to add a little bit more, if you wanted to add some white wine in there, by all means. If you wanted to add a little bit of butter in there, by all means. If you wanted to add a little bit more of your zhuzh, do it. So this is ready to go. Peas are already cooked down. Shallots cooked down. Garlic is cooked down. I'm going to add this just like so in the pot, and this hot liquid and these hot peas are actually going to cook down the herbs just a little wee bit. Nice and warm for you. Now this is where you're going to add a little bit more olive oil. Turn that on. Turn your stream on, nice and low. About 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. So we added salt in the beginning. This is where we're going to add salt again. Always taste your food as you go. Always add flavor as you are cooking. Because you wonder, oh man, it didn't end well. This is where we give it just a good whack, good shake. Notice how it's nice and green and it's turning. This is where I'm just going to pack down a little bit more of all those little bits that float to the top. Again, you can do this in your blender. For those that want an extra workout, seeing as how we need them every day during quarantine, use a mortar and pestle. And I'm going to add some truffle salt to this just because I'm feeling it, because I have it in my pantry. So this is where we give it a taste. Now it's going to be a little bit chunky. It's actually really good. I love it. Needs just a pinch of salt. I'm going to add that truffle salt. By all means, add any of your kind of salt. We're probably going to add about another 1/4 of a teaspoon to this. It might seem like a lot, but remember, this is going to be tossed with pasta, and you're going to have to flavor the pasta. Now, acid. We didn't forget about our lime juice. Acid is always essential, or vinegar, just to brighten up that dish. Here we have peas, which can be a little bit meaty, firm, and then after that we have the mint, bright, vivacious. Add the juice of all that lemon, the salt, and that is it. Pea pesto with mint, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of lemon juice. Now, this is a vegan recipe. If you'd like, you can add fresh Parmesan cheese, Pecorino Romano cheese, just to give it a little bit more salt. Now, if you do add that cheese, be careful of how much salt you add, because cheeses are a little bit salty on their own. 2, you can do this with many different things. You can toss it in a pasta dish, cold or hot. You can then put this on top of salmon. You can then mix it in with other ingredients. The sky's the limit, but know that there is so much nutritional value to this. A little bit of protein from the nuts, a little bit of healthy fats as well from the nuts, and not only that, super flavorful, super colorful, super vivacious. Just tell your kids that you're having green pasta tonight. My name is Melissa. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I will post this recipe later on this afternoon. Everyone stay well, stay safe. And again, if you have any ideas for recipes that you want to see, shoot me a message and I will see you next time. Oh, do I deliver? Sadly, not to Clay Nicole, sorry. But I have been making a lot of things just because I've had some extra downtime. So I can deliver within the local Seattle area, especially if I have a mask. But everyone have a great night. Bye.